there is the pleasure of things. Love is pleasurable. A compliment is pleasurable. Physical pleasure is pleasurable. There's also the pleasure of being with him. Him. That pleasure elevates you. So everything else that goes on between a husband and wife should never become its own thing. For example, I want someone to love me. So what am I looking for? Love. Whoever will love me, that's who I will respond to, because I'm looking for love. So who is going to love me becomes secondary. I don't care who it is. I just want love. That makes love a thing and the person an object. The way it's supposed to be is, I want someone, and his love will become important because it's him. So when a man proposes marriage to a woman, he's not saying, I promise to love you and you promise to love me, and that's a marriage. No. I promise to give myself to you and you will give yourself to me. And when we do that, then your love will become important to me. Not because I'm looking for love, but because it's you. If it's you, then love is important. Otherwise, I don't need love. There's a beautiful song that the Barditchever composed. It's called Adudele, which means a little song, but it also is a play on words. Du means you. So Adudele means a song about you. So he says in the song that everything is you, everywhere I go is you. When I go up, it's you. When I go down, it's you. East is you. West is you. North is you. South is you. When things are good, it's you. When things are not so good, it's also you. And here's the punchline. And if it's you, then it's good. When things are not so good, that's you. You're doing this. And as long as you're doing it, it's good. Because I'm not looking for good news, I'm looking for you. So if you love me, that's good. If you're angry at me, that's good too. Because it's you. A very interesting little experience. A father calls me and says, I have a real problem with my daughter. She's 12 years old. She's a frum girl. And she got it into her head that the Eibishter is angry at her. And she's all distressed. The Eibishter is angry at her. And they tried to convince her otherwise, and it's not working. I mean, he was calling from overseas. And he puts her on the phone. He says, talk to her. So I say, you think God is angry at you? She says, yes. I said, how come? What makes you so important? She said, what? I said, if God is angry at you, that is such a compliment. You're 12 years old. What could you have possibly done that gets God angry? When did you become so important? It's a great compliment. She was thrilled. Problem was over. But everyone who tried to convince her, no, God is not angry at you. No, God loves you, you're wonderful. She didn't buy it. She was convinced God is angry at her. And maybe he was. And maybe he was. Is that terrible? No. Because when things are not so good, as long as it's you, I'm fine with that. So even when God gets angry at us, it is such a intimacy. And the same is true with a husband. There are many things, directions, up and down, east and west, north and south, good times and bad times, but it's all about him. So do you want love? No. But his love? Yeah. You want money? No. You know. But his money. Not because you need money, but because it's his. Makes it special. In other words, everything becomes important if it's him first. But if it's things first, he will never become important. So if you're interested in things, if you're hung up on things, you'll never make contact with him. But if you start with him, and he is the center of your life, then all the things that come with him become important. The same thing with your children. You don't want love from your children, respect from your children. You want your children. So now their love becomes valuable, their respect becomes valuable, because it's from them. In the bedroom, this is true as well. What happens in the bedroom is that there is a meeting of him and her, without any things. So why is it important and necessary that intimacy should be in the dark? There should be no light. Why is it necessary? At least one of the reasons. Because if there's light, then you're going to see. What are you going to see? What does the eye see? Something. The eye sees things. So if the light is on, you're going to see something that ruins everything. Because intimacy means a meeting of him and her with no thing distracting you. So even seeing him, what are you going to see? You're going to see something about him. You're not going to see him. And that's a distraction. The eye doesn't see him. It only sees things. That's why the Eibishter doesn't let us see him. Because he doesn't want us to be impressed by something about him. He wants us to get to know him. You can't do that when you're distracted by what you see. Intimacy is not visible. It's not a thing. You can't see it. There's no it. There's just him. And that's why anything you're going to see will be a distraction from him. So here's the conclusion and the punchline. Nothing, even the most important things in life, nothing about your husband or what you get from your husband can ever be more important than your husband. That is such a crucial sentence such a crucial idea that if you get that settled into your mind, your marriage will be real forever. There are so many things we argue about, which is natural because when it comes to things, people have different tastes, different opinions, different feelings, different moods. So can you have a couple who are perfectly happily married and they don't agree on anything? Yeah. Because those are just things. What they're really interested in is having each other. So their marriage is great. And they can't agree about anything. They have different tastes, different opinions, different... It's fine. Then there are couples who agree on everything. They have common interests, they love the same things, they love doing the same things, they're always doing things that they both enjoy and they both agree on and they're miserable. Because when you ask them, in a moment of honesty, they'll say, I feel alone. How can that happen? You're so busy, you're doing so many things, you're enjoying so many things, and then all of a sudden, let's get divorced. What? What happened? It's like this guy who said to me, I'm getting divorced. I don't need this. I had never heard that expression before, so it was a little puzzling. You're divorcing her because you don't need this? Isn't that a little confusing? You don't need this, get rid of this. Why are you getting rid of her? Unless her is a this. You can't even call her by her name? She's just a this? No wonder you're getting divorced. So intimacy means getting beyond all things. That's very uplifting, not degrading, not diminishing. It elevates. The things you were told are disgusting and animalistic, they are. But now we're talking about something completely different.